Hey guys, it's Jin from the Pendit and it's raining outside and I'm in the Alexander classroom building on Bush in my GA2 classroom, and today we'll be talking about the Pilot Lucina. I'm gonna go over the pen real quick and then I'm gonna go from top to bottom and tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we're gonna do a writing sample. Cool? Okay. This pen is a very simple pen. It's a cartridge converter that takes Pilot proprietary cartridges and converters, but it can only take the Con 20, Con 40, and 50. It does not take the Con 70, sadly, though it's the best Pilot converter out there. It is a screw type cap. It's a relatively light pen. It's rather small, but once it's posted, it has a pretty good, decent size to it. It's made from resin and has gold accents. It's a very nice pen for the price range at what I got it. The prices you might find them online might be different. I got it for I think about $39.40, something like that. Okay, I'm going to explain from top to bottom. I'm going to go through the parts of the pen. Let's start with the cap. The top of the cap, or the finial, is pretty simple. There's only a small step down and then it flares out just a bit. There is absolutely zero embellishment on here. Right below the finial, there's a gold trim ring which seems to be connected to the cap, but I can't be completely sure. I'll have to check with someone else on that, or you might have to do some research on your own. But the clip is pretty simple in design. It looks exactly like the clips on the Custom 74 and also recently the Monteverde Invincia, which I reviewed, whose review you can check up here for the pictures. The clip is much springier than the Monteverde Invincia clip, and it doesn't have as much strength to it. I feel like if you over bend this, it will break. Right below the clip, on the front of the pen, there is not exactly a cap band or a center band, but there are two kind of trim rings around the band. On the band on the front it says Lucina, and at the back it says Pilot Japan. Okay. After the cap, there is almost no step down to the barrel. There is some, but you can barely feel it with your hands. The barrel tapers down to another finial that looks exactly like the one on the cap. Between the finial and the barrel, there is another thin gold accent. Alright, let's move to the section. Between the threads and the section, there is absolutely zero step down. However, there is a significant step down from the barrel itself to the threads which are on the barrel. I hold my pen a little further up so I don't feel it as much, but I can see how someone might feel it with their middle finger if they hold it in a grip like this. Otherwise, it's a pretty smooth transition. This section tapers down just a tad bit before meeting with two concentric gold trim rings, and then it hits the nib. Now, this is what I love about this pen. It's a steel nib, but it's gold plated, so it's going to be completely fine with iron gallings, which tend to eat up steel nibs. It's a beautiful nib, and I genuinely love the shape of the Pilot nibs on the Custom 74, the 823, and the Lucina. And I just adore the scroll work. I would have loved it if there was a more embellished Pilot logo on the nib, but it looks pretty good for what it is. This nib is interchangeable with the Custom 74, but I don't think the feed can be removed and put in Custom 74 as well. I feel like it's just a nib. Alright, that's it for the review of the pen. We're going to go to a writing sample and I'll see you real quick. Alright guys, this is the Pilot Lucina in the medium nib, and the ink is Edelstein. Close. Smoky. Quartz. Oops. This is what the ink looks like, and here it is with Monteverde brown, and diamine oxblood. It's a much tree barkier brown. It doesn't have as the red elements as oxblood, and even Monteverde brown is slightly towards the maroon reddish side, but this is a true dirt brown, or it reminds me of tree bark, to be honest. And that's actually the only reason I use this. The ink isn't terribly well behaved, but I really like the color. I had a bottle of diamine saddle brown, and my god, that was good ink. Like, it was just really well behaved. All right, so let's go to the writing sample. This pen is generally on the wetter side. There's no difference on the side stroke and the upstroke for the smoothness of the pen. It's a very well-rounded nib. It doesn't have that much flex, but if you want to flex it, you can. So let's just flex it real quick. I feel pretty scared to flex this nib. Most of the nibs I have are non-flex because I am a student, but the ones that I do have are really flexy. This one flexes a decent amount, but it just feels like it might come off the feed. Like if I just push it down, you can see the whole nib rocking back, which is something I don't find comfortable, to be honest. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice and juicy nib. It doesn't work on cheap paper as much as I hoped it would. You would need maybe laser jet paper to make this thing work for you, and some pretty good ink. But overall, it's a pretty solid pen. For about $40, you're getting a very reliable writer. Alright, thanks guys. That's another quick review from me for the Pilot Lucina. I'll see you guys soon, but until then, stay safe.